Alright guys, here we have a quote from Mrs. Burling. Now Sheila, don't tease him. When you're married, you'll realise that some men with important work to do sometimes have to spend nearly all their time and energy on their business. So this quote is from the start of the play, and if we've read the entire play, we know that Gerald really wasn't spending all his free time and certainly not his energy on his business, much rather somebody else. So Mrs. Burling is telling Sheila off here for saying that Gerald has been avoiding her. We obviously later find out that is because Gerald has been seeing Eva Smith instead. So this is an early quote, an early indication of Mrs. Burling's ignorance and indeed her arrogance too. So let's zoom in on some of this language. Firstly, we have this "when you're married" and "now Sheila." This clearly is a patronising tone. Mrs. Burling constantly acts superior to her children, in fact superior to almost absolutely everybody apart from Gerald himself throughout the entire play. So this isn't perhaps surprising, but just really reinforces that. Secondly, we have that men. Realise that men. Now this really reinforces the idea of a patriarchal society. It were men who were important. During this scene as well, we have Gerald, Eric and Mr. Burling staying around and discussing politics and important matters with port and cigars. Well, Mrs. Burling and Sheila retire into the drawing room. That's short for the drawing room, because simply women were not seen as an important place in society at that point. So Mrs. Burling's language here really reinforces that. Next, we've obviously got important work, and this suggests a few things. This perhaps suggests the importance again of the patriarchal society, that it was the men that were doing the important work. I think it also draws a line between different classes. We see here Gerald and Mr. Burling are seen as the upper middle classes, okay, and it's that they are doing the important work. Unlike the working classes whose work is absolutely unimportant. Very simple work, very basic work. Okay, although obviously, understanding this now, if we understand the entire situation, it was the working class that really powered the Industrial Revolution. Mrs. Burling didn't see it that way. Next, and finally, we have the word business, and this obviously is a lovely little word to end on because it shows where the priority is. Mrs. Burling is justifying here why business is more important than family for men like Burling and for Gerald, something Sheila has got to look forward to.